Ayo, what is poppin' poppers? In today's video, I'll be talking about different opinions that we all share as Funko Pop collectors. So let's get right into it. So just a couple days ago, I actually put out on my Instagram story asking people what their unpopular opinions are about Funko and just collecting in general. If you don't follow me on Instagram yet, go follow me. My @ is @RyeThePopGuy. But yeah, after posting on my story, I got a lot of different responses from you guys for a bunch of different unpopular opinions that you guys all share. Some of the opinions that you guys put are the same, so if you don't see yours in today's video, it's because it's probably the same as someone else's or relatively close to someone else's that is in the video. But yeah, in today's video, I'll be talking about these different opinions that people had put up on my Instagram story. Like I said, these are all opinions, and I will be saying if I agree or disagree with them, but in the end of the day, it's just the person's opinion, and I can't change that. That's their opinion, and I have my own opinion. And if you want to, feel free to comment on any of the subjects in today's video that I talk about, feel free to comment down below. There's so many different opinions that you guys put here on my story. I'll only be going through a couple of these, and you guys can feel free to comment also your own opinions about Funko and collecting that I didn't mention in today's video in the comments down below, or agree or disagree with any of the opinions that I put in today's video. So the first opinion that I got here is from Creedon, and he says they are too exclusive in some countries, and I'm kind of in the middle, I guess. Like, I kind of disagree and agree with that. I do agree with the fact that they make too many exclusives that are out of the country, so especially from a Canadian standpoint, they do make a lot of exclusives that are outside of Canada that are hard to get here, and I know it's really tough for a lot of people in Europe to get exclusives there as well, since there's not too many stores to buy these exclusives at. But then again, here in Canada, they make it so accessible for us. If there's an exclusive to FYE, Walgreens, Target, which we don't have here, they'll just make it accessible to us at like Toys R Us or something like that. So in the end of the day, it's pretty easy to get these exclusives for here in Canada. But that's from a Canadian standpoint. They pretty much make everything accessible around me, like whether it be Toys R Us, EB Games, or Grosvenor getting in these out of Canada exclusives. It's pretty easy to get the exclusives where I'm from. But like I said, that's from a Canadian standpoint. I'm not exactly sure how it's like in Europe to get these exclusives and stuff like that. I know a lot of people do complain there about there not being too many stores that have these exclusives that get them in. So I'm not exactly sure how it is there, but yeah, I do kind of disagree and agree with that. They do make a lot of exclusives that are hard for out of the US to get. So this next one here comes from VA_Funko_Pops on Instagram. If you don't follow them, go check them out on Instagram. They make some really awesome Funko photography. And they said, buying a lot of Pops takes the fun out of collecting. Buying 50 to 100 a month makes it less special. And I'd have to agree with that. Personally, for me, I'd probably buy like 4 to 5 Pops a month. I don't know, I'm not really a person that goes out collecting too much every month. I do have a pretty big collection, but I've accumulated most of my collection from the past couple of years, since I've been collecting since 2015, 2016. So a lot of my collection has been grown throughout the years. I don't really buy too many Pops a month. I only buy really what I like. I don't really buy anything that just like looks cool to me or something that I'll get to. For the most part, I'll buy stuff that I like. But I definitely do see where this person's coming from when they say this, mainly because if you're buying to, like, let's just say 75 Pops a month, you're kind of forgetting about some of those Pops that you've bought in, and they kind of just sit there on your shelf, and you're like, why did I buy that again? And it's just taking up space. I think it'd be more smart for those people that are buying that many Pops a month just to save up and buy a specific grail that they're looking forward to for a line. But that's just my opinion. I'm not stopping you from collecting what you like. You collect whatever you like. I'm not going to stop you. But I think for some people, it would be smarter than rather than buying so many commons, just stick up for one grail, I guess. So this next one here comes from Funko, and this says, a lot of people collect for the upcoming/future value of the Pop, which kind of sucks, and I definitely agree with this. Like, especially with a recent one that I can think of, this is one that just truly disgusts me, is the fact that when Alex Trebek announced that he had cancer, they actually released a Pop for him, and a lot of people did actually end up going out and buying that Pop just for the hope that he would pass away soon, and then the value of the Pop would go up, and then they can resell the Pop. That's truly disgusting, and I don't think anyone should do that. I can understand flippers, they're just making a hustle, they're buying like specific exclusives, putting them online, but when you're buying a Pop hoping that someone dies soon, and then trying to save that Pop to resell afterwards when they do pass away, that's just messed up, and that's not something you should do. That's just truly disgusting. So this next one here comes from Justin on Instagram, and he says, ad icons are kind of trash right now, not gonna lie. And I'd have to disagree/agree, I guess. Compared to past years, ad icons recently haven't been the best, and I feel like that's just mainly because they've made already some of the most known ad icons already. So in the past years, they've made Toucan Sam, Lucky the Leprechaun, Sunny Cuckoo, or Tony Tiger. If I can't think of any more. Those are like the main ones, I guess. They've made a lot of the really good ones in the past, and now recently they've been starting to make a couple of like the smaller ones that not too many know about. So I kind of do disagree and agree with that, because I feel like they don't really have a selection of too many known characters anymore to make. So yeah, I do disagree/agree with that. Like I said, they've already made so many of the most known ad icons. There's not really too many more that they could make, and that's why they're making some of these smaller, I guess, ad icons from different brands. But yeah, I still do think the ad icons are really cool and a really awesome line, and I do love them. I do love the soda line especially. I think they should continue the sodas. Those are really awesome. And this next one here comes from DC_Williams30, and they say, always check the clearance section. You never know what you'll find, and I definitely do agree with that. especially with thrift stores. I've watched a lot of people on YouTube do thrift store hunts, and they found some really awesome stuff at thrift stores for a really good price. So I do think the clearance section and all that is definitely something that you should look to. Like for me, a few times I've actually found a few Rick and Morty pops in the clearance section at EV Games, and I needed them for my set, so I bought them. So it was a good thing that I checked the clearance section. But yeah, it's always a good thing to check the clearance section. You might find a pop there for a very good price that you actually wanted. So this next one here comes from Noltron on Instagram, and they say, I'd rather buy one rare pop than a bunch of commons. And this kind of backs up what I said earlier on the video when I said rather than buying 75 pops a month, kind of save up for a grill, and I definitely do agree with that. For me personally, I don't really buy too many pops, and I do buy quite a few commons, but those are sets that I really want. But personally for me, I think I'd rather save up and not buy a bunch of commons and buy one grail pop for a line that I've wanted. But yeah, I definitely do agree with that. Rather than buying so many commons, I'd want to buy a grail. But if you buy a lot of commons a month and it brings joy to you, keep on doing that. Collect what you like. I'm not stopping you. But my opinion is, personally, I'd rather not buy so many commons and buy like one big grail, I guess. This next one here comes from Popbunny on Instagram, and he says old pops such as the OG lines actually look super creepy and aren't worth the money. And I have to like sit in the middle between that. I kind of do agree with that, and I kind of do disagree with that. They do look pretty creepy, and I have to agree with that. Some of the older ones, like from the Ad Icons line, such as the General Mills, do look pretty creepy. But they are worth the money. It depends on whoever the buyer is. So for example, the old General Mills 3-pack of the Blueberry, Frankenberry, and the Count Chocula, those are pretty creepy to me. But if there's a specific buyer that wants them to complete the Ad Icon set, they're definitely going to buy that, and they are worth the money then. But to me, I definitely do disagree and agree. Like I think all the pops are worth what they're worth, but they are pretty creepy. This next one here comes from ShawWill12 on Instagram, and they say the Funko app was better before the update, and I definitely agree with that. I do think Stash PD was a little bit better because there's also the like whole aspect of looking at other people's collections. You can follow people on there, you can see what they want on their want list, you can see their collection. I do think that was a really awesome idea, and I do hope that they implement that again with the Funko app. But since Stash PD, that's never been a thing, and they never hinted at it or anything. And I also do hate the fact that you can only see 4 pops at a time now when scrolling through your collection and want list. But yeah, I definitely did like Stashpedia a lot more, mainly because of the following feature and the fact that you can see other people's collections. But the Funko app doesn't really have that many issues with it. The only thing I really don't like about the Funko app is, like I said, the following thing, as well as the fact that I don't really see too much of my collection and I have to scroll through a lot of it. This next one here comes from JNCCollects on Instagram, and it says out-of-box displaying looks better, and I definitely do agree with that. But the reason that most of my collection is in-box, like those are in-box up there, out-of-box, in-box, and most of my collection is in-box because it's just mainly a space saver. I have a whole shelf over there of about 50 pops out of box, and I found a really good place to put their boxes. But for the most part, if I had my whole collection out of box, I'd have nowhere to put the empty boxes, because you have to find a spot for the empty boxes, plus a really nice spot for the actual character itself. So for the most part, it's really a space saver for me, but I definitely do agree with the fact that they do look better out of box. But for me, it's just a space saver, so that's why I have a lot of mine in box. This next one here comes from Canon Collectibles, and he says, too many chrome pops, colors that aren't needed, and I definitely do agree with that. I do think chrome makes sense sometimes, and I do think there is a market for the chrome pops. A lot of people do seem to like them, but when they're making 5 different colored Hulks for some reason, and it doesn't even make sense as Hulk, that just makes no sense. Why is there 5 different colors of Hulk? That makes no sense. I do understand the Thanos one, because it's different colors than the Infinity Stones, but that's a little bit of a stretch for me, but the Hulk just makes no sense. This next one here comes from J_Coop_Lewis on Instagram, and they say there's too many Dwight pops, they should do more different Office pops, and I don't really know if I disagree or agree with that. I don't collect the Office, so I don't know. I'm not an Office fan or anything, so I'm not really sure. I don't collect the Office pops or anything. But based off of the news videos I've made recently, it seems like they've made too many Dwight pops, and a lot of people do want to see other characters from this show. Let me know in the comments down below if you watch The Office and you collect the pops, and if you'd want to see a different character from the show rather than having another Dwight. Like I said, I don't really watch The Office, so it's not that big of a deal to me, but it does seem like they're making one too many Dwights. This next one here comes from Dakota_646464. Most chases are overrated, and I definitely agree with that. The word chase means nothing like it used to mean back a couple of years ago. Chases back then were like really awesome. They were super well done, and I've always I no chase left behind back then. But now recently it's been like chases are getting kind of lazy. It's like the Jasmine chase. It's where it's just her hand flipped over, and I literally have that chase actually. It's basically her chase is just her hand flipped over and she's holding an apple. No mold difference except for her hand moving up and down. I don't really like the idea of chases that are lazy. I do think chases should go back to the way they were back then. A little bit more harder to get. They were 1 out of 12, 1 out of 36. I do like that. And I also do think they should make the chases more different than the actual common version. So yeah, I do kind of agree chases are overrated, and I don't really see the big deal about them. But anyways, guys, that's been it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video. If your opinion didn't make it into the video and you did submit an opinion on my Instagram story, I apologize. It's probably mainly because I agreed with it and there's not too much to say about it, just because it was really self-explanatory and a lot of people do agree with it probably. And I didn't really know what to say because I definitely did agree with it. But yeah, thank you so much for all the people that submitted opinions on my Instagram story. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me at RyeThePopGuy. I do a lot of stuff on there, so if you do want to see more of my pop life, I guess, you can go follow me on Instagram at RyeThePopGuy. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, hit that like button. If you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.